On Tuesday, Joe Biden violated our Constitution. Or did he? What can we do? Let's start with what we know. Through most of the pandemic, there has been a moratorium on evictions for renters. That moratorium was due to expire. The decision to extend or terminate was in the hands of Congress. Congress went on a break. They didn't address it. The CDC issued a national moratorium on evictions. The Supreme Court deemed the moratorium unconstitutional as it violated the rights of landlords. The executive branch ignored our Constitution and sided with the CDC. Well, that's what we know. Here are some questions. Is this a direct violation of how our government was established to work? Absolutely. Did Joe Biden make this decision? On paper, yes, but I'm going to go with no. Presidents don't make decisions in a bubble. They have advisors. Joe Biden's career and his leadership record and his mental capacity are mediocre at best, at least according to everything I've read about him. So it's not a stretch to consider that he is not making these decisions. If that's the case, then who's steering the ship? I'm not going to speculate on that at the moment. That question is much less important to me than the question, can they be defeated? The answer to that question is yes. I want to put a few other things on the table before I go to how. Is it possible that this is the first of many executive branch moves to ignore our Constitution and take other actions, such as violating our rights to bear arms? When I consider these questions with the mind of a former Marine, here I am, pinned down. I have a lack of control over the battlefield and no possibility of retreat. Two things come to mind. One, call for air cover. Two, take individual action. Our air cover is comprised of the state governors who are willing to uphold the Constitution and deny the overreach of the executive branch as it relates to the moratorium. With that said, I'm not willing to put my life solely in the hands of Plan A. But Plan B requires me to shout from the rooftops and encourage others to do the same. And that's what this message is about. There are 80 million of us, and the vast majority are either ignorant or have been convinced that we don't have the power. Those that are convinced have been led to believe that by socialists since the 1960s. They themselves are not socialist, but they've been deviously divided through fear and misrepresentation. Article 5 of our Constitution provides us with a break glass method to stop the overreach of the federal government and put it in the hands of the states where it belongs. It requires 34 states to agree on a proposal. Right now, we have 15 states on board. This action is backed by politicians like Ron DeSantis, Ted Cruz, activists like Charlie Kirk and PragerU. On the other hand, it is opposed by an enormous list of socialist nonprofit organizations. That alone should be cause for you to take notice. Do some homework and take some action. I'm not going to go into the explanations of Article 5 today. Our website contains videos that will inform you of how it works. They will address the BS that the socialists have been pushing since the 60s, and they'll provide links to every state. It'll tell you where your state is at with Article 5, who are the local representatives, and how you can get in touch with them, to include links to their social media accounts. All right, so in closing, please allow me to tell you that by nature, I'm an easygoing person. But in this circumstance, I have the conviction of a devout believer, and I'm going to step on the pulpit, and I'm going to tell you now, if you viewed this message and choose to do nothing, then you are giving into darkness and dismay, which is what the enemy wants. I'm not suggesting that you blindly follow my message or anybody else's. I'm telling you that I, along with many others of much higher public value, are convinced this will work. You need to walk away with enough of an ignited spirit to click the links in the description of this video and make the decision that we cannot solely rely on air cover from the states or anyone else. We are the people, and we have to stand united, and we have to become our greatest generation.